Really good to join with you this morning. A Wednesday morning, a little overcast, and it seems like we're back to our June gloom weather, which hopefully we were going to be getting past and moving into some warmer, but I'm hoping that's still coming maybe in later July and August. Last week, my family was up in Tofino, and we had some sun join us, and that was a great time. Anytime you're up in Tofino, you sort of prepare for rain, and you never know what the weather's going to be like, but the sun did come out, and I got a little too much sun, so I'm starting to shed some layers of skin this week, and we'll keep adding some lotion to fix my face and my forehead a little bit. Just a couple things I wanted to mention. Our service on Sunday preached from the passage in Matthew on taking on this yoke of Christ that is easy and is light. And certainly when you read through the Sermon on the Mount, you don't get a sense that these are easy or light teachings. In fact, in many places in the sermon, he's sort of expanding the moral impetus for us to take things even seriously, even not just in an outward way, but in an internal way, and looking at the attitudes of our heart. That certainly seems like a heavier yoke or teaching to take on, or more of a burden to take on. And one of the images that I didn't stress as much as maybe I had time to on Sunday was this picture of the yoke. And the picture that we had shown in the sermon was actually had two bulls and was kind of this pretty primitive yoke on a cart. Some of you may not have even really been able to see the yoke that clearly. But there were other images that maybe I should have chosen that were a little bit more clear of the place where an animal's head would have gone through circular, sometimes wooden, sometimes just a strap that would attach their head to the bar that runs across their necks. And that image really shows how many yokes for farming were built for two animals. So you would have had two oxen both putting their heads through, and then being attached to the yoke that would then carry the plow or the cart. And I think that image is really encouraging to us, and as we think about following in Jesus' way and really joining with Christ's way of loving God and loving others, I think we can take heart in the thought that we're not only taking on a teaching or taking on a way, but we're actually joining with a person. And that person of Christ who is also beside us, sometimes maybe a far more powerful force in providing us with a love for God and a love for others that strengthens us and encourages us, empowers us to follow in the way of Christ. We are opening our office officially next week, and our office has really been not closed to staff, but we haven't officially opened it and kind of welcomed people to come by. But we're moving into stages of having more protocols in place. So that will happen next Tuesday, and if you are coming by the office for some reason, just know that we are going to be a little more strict with distancing and asking you some questions before you come in, having you disinfect your hands at a station, and some signage is already up on our doors instructing you in some of those things. We're excited about kind of moving forward in this way, and then also looking at the fireside room being available with some protocols in place that will ask whoever's leading a group or being in charge of a time that they schedule to ensure that protocols are being followed in those spaces. We're also putting together a survey that we'll be putting out this week that is just asking some questions about how you felt connected to our online services in this time. And as we look towards later summer in August and the fall, if we do have gatherings, which would at this point be under 50 people in a sanctuary space at one time, how you'd feel about that, and if you'd be really looking forward to those times, or if you would feel unsafe to be in a larger group of people. Of course, all of those services, if they happen, will be enforcing protocol measures like distancing and sanitization. We also have to track everybody that's been at that service to make sure that we're able to account for any sickness that is contracted during that time. This week we have a special guest preacher. Gord McCann, our district superintendent, is going to be sharing with us and has a very special message of encouragement for us this week. So we just encourage you to tune into that, and I know that you'll be encouraged by the words that Gord has to share with us this week. We're looking forward to that. And then we also have another special guest next week that we will, maybe I'll keep you in expectation of who that is for next midweek chat, and we'll announce that next week. Next Tuesday, we also have a special event, drive-through summer celebration that we're putting together for next Tuesday night at 6 p.m. We're going to be inviting our whole church to come and drive through our parking lot to stay in your vehicle, and but we'll have different stations to help you kick off the summer and celebrate summer, and just a chance to connect with some of the people in our church family here. And Jessica Timmons and Rachel, Jessica Timmons and Rachel Simmons are helping put together that drive-through celebration. So look forward to that next Tuesday. Finally, I just want to leave you with a poem. John O'Donohue is an Irish philosopher and poet, and I've been encouraged by some of his poems and blessings. And he has a poem, a blessing really, he might call it, that is written for the interim. And I've read this before during this year, and I thought at this point in our interim, and even in this time of navigating through COVID, you might find encouragement in his words. For the interim time, when near the end of day life has drained out of light, and it is too soon for the mind of night to have darkened things. No place looks like itself. Loss of outline makes everything look strangely in between, unsure of what has been or what might come. In this wan light, even trees seem groundless. In a while it will be night, but nothing here seems to believe the relief of dark. You are in this time of the interim, where everything seems withheld. The path you took to get here has washed out. The way forward is still concealed from you. The old is not old enough to have died away. The new is still too young to be born. You cannot lay claim to anything. In this place of dusk, your eyes are blurred, and there is no mirror. Everyone else has lost sight of your heart, and you can see nowhere to put your trust. You know you have to make your own way through. As far as you can, hold your confidence. Do not allow your confusion to squander this call which is loosening your roots in false ground, that you might come free from all you have outgrown. What is being transfigured here is your mind, and it is difficult and slow to become new. The more faithfully you can endure here, the more refined your heart will become for your arrival in the new dawn. Blessings on you and your week. We look forward to seeing you soon.